this came out of left field for me. I am a D-backs fan. I've been following them pretty closely the last 2 or 3 years. I did not see this coming. The D-backs were a silent partner in this whole offseason for Corbin Burnes. I didn't hear their name come up once. Did you?
No, I mean they were very quietly, kind of exploring options, but there was no indication that they were in this market.
No. So Corbin Burnes to the D-backs, 6 years, $210 million. They say the reason is, one of the big reasons was he lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. So it's kind of like a going home signing for him. But this rotation could be no joke if you get a good Jordan Montgomery back, even if you get a 500 Eddie Rodriguez. This is a rotation, and if Merrill Kelly's healthy, that's another big one. But Corbin Burnes, Zach Gallen,
just keep laying out the ifs there, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, Merrill Kelly got hurt in the middle of last year, so that's a big one. But with Burnes and Gallen as your 1-2,
that's a pretty nasty 1-2 punch to get. I mean, in a 5-game series, do you want to start games 1 and 2 against Burnes and Gallen? I don't.
No. And then Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt, this kid. If you haven't seen this kid pitch yet, he's up and coming. He's good. He's got some good stuff. And then Jordan Montgomery and Eddie Rodriguez, to me, are question marks. We don't know what we're going to get out of Montgomery or Rodriguez for that matter. But I'm taking this rotation for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I think I mentioned you, too. I think what's really, really cool about this is you look at that rotation. You've got, Corbin Burnes is a lock. Gallen's a lock. Kelly, when healthy's a lock. Pfaadt's a lock. And now you got Erod and Montgomery. And you can kind of let those guys go into spring training and fight for the spot. And if something comes up, you could always trade one of them off for a position of need. Corbin Burnes is one of the probably 3 or 4 best pitchers in baseball. I mean, he's an ace. Yeah. But now you've also got flexibility by being able to make a move if you need to, and let your starting rotation actually battle for the spots. You've got 6 starters for 5 slots. They're all they're all good.
Yeah.
And if Jordan Montgomery returns to form, you can go Burnes, Gallen, and a good Montgomery, and a Merrill Kelly hanging out behind them. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah, I am optimistic about Montgomery just because of everything he dealt with last offseason, signing late, the whole Scott Boras being out of touch with the market last offseason. I think you do get a different Jordan Montgomery. He's just too good to be that bad, if that makes sense.
Well, let's put it this way. He can't pitch any worse than he did last year. He can only get better.
Facts.
He was terrible last year.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, and we can get into the details of the contract here in a second, but it sounds like the Arizona connection may have been actually initiated by Corbin Burnes.
Yes.
If I'm reading between the lines, it sounds like he approached them. He's got 2 very young twin babies. And he wanted to be home. And it sounds like he may have approached them to say, look, I've got other offers out there. Like, what could you guys do? Like, is there a chance to make this work?
Yeah.
And the deal is interesting. It's a 6-year, $210 million deal. The first 2 years are at $20 million. The next 4 are at $25 million. There's an opt out after year 2. So obviously the incentive to not opt out is the higher salary in the following 4 years. And they deferred $60 million to be paid out $10 million a year starting in 2031. So it's actually a team friendly contract. When you look at it, he's going to take less money the next 2 years, defer a big chunk of it. $10 million per year gets taken off the top and deferred.
Yeah.
And then he can opt out or stick around for a raise. It's a shockingly team friendly deal for a guy that we thought was going to be at $40 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that he's going to a good team as well, like a fun.
No, if this was the White Sox, it's probably a different story. But
yeah,
it definitely sounds like this is a deal where Burnes was kind of like, I want to be there. How do we make it happen?
Yeah, do what you can to get me here.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody saw this coming, because I don't even think the D-backs saw it coming. I think that this was initiated by Burnes' side, and the D-backs were like, well, hell yeah, we'll talk.
Right. As you should. I mean,
well, yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure.
Wait, one of the best pitchers in the league want to come to our team? Like, okay, what gets it done. So
yeah, I mean, and it's $35 million a year. He's making just a hair more than Garrett Cole, so it's not like it's chump change.
right.
But the heavy deferrals knock down that cost. And the 2-year opt out with a raise, it's a good deal. Good deal for the DBacks especially. And if Burnes stays all 6 years, it's a good deal for him.
Yep, absolutely.
Which, if you want to be home, why wouldn't you stay all 6?
Right.